The hit Disney Plus series The Mandalorian loves to lob mystery after mystery at us with every episode, and the fifth was no different. Case in point, who the heck is the person who discovers Fennec Shand's body at the end? We can hazard a few guesses. The episode was something of a love letter to Star Wars fans, as it returned us to where it all started, the desert planet of Tatooine, where Mando heads to get a ship repaired after it sustains damage in a dogfight with another bounty hunter.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to rotate that.
After leaving adorable little baby Yoda in the care of mechanic Peli Motto, Mando heads to a very familiar cantina looking for work. There he finds Toro Calican, a guard member who just happens to be posted up at the very same table where a certain Rhodian bounty hunter met his end so very long ago. He offers to split the take if Mando will help him bring in his bounty, Fennec Shand, a notorious assassin who has apparently made enemies of the wrong people. Of course, it turns out that Calican isn't telling the whole truth. He's not exactly a member of the guild, but he sure wants to be, and hauling in Shand is his ticket in. He offers to give Mando all of the dough to assist in bringing in the extremely dangerous hardened killer, and while our hero is just a bit hesitant, well, money talks. After meeting back at the mechanics, the two set out on speeder bikes, and it doesn't take them long to find and corner Shand, who puts up a heck of a fight, but is eventually subdued by the power of deception and teamwork. Unfortunately, Mando now has a bigger problem. Shand, in attempting to convince Calican to free her so they can team up to kill Mando and get custody of Baby Yoda, instead convinces him to blast her so that he can attempt a double cross on his own. This endeavor doesn't go well for the inexperienced bounty hunter. After a confrontation back at the mechanics, Mando manages to get the better of Calican and uses the credits he had on him to pay the mechanic for his ship's repairs. He and Baby Yoda continue their flight, but somebody knows they've been there. We see Shan's presumably dead body being approached and examined by an unknown party, dressed all in black with a long flowing cape and what looks like a blaster on their hip. Who is this mysterious person? We have a few ideas. There is always the possibility that this person will be one of the many bounty hunters we've seen on Mando's trail over the course of the season. Baby Yoda is the hottest commodity in the galaxy after all. One such random pursuer made a surprise appearance at the end of the previous episode, just when we thought Mando might finally have found a safe haven for Baby Yoda. So if he can be tracked to the remote outpost of the planet Sorgan, he can certainly be tracked to the comparative hotspot of Tatooine. However, we don't find this to be likely for one simple reason: why not show the person's face? If he or she will indeed be another rando in pursuit of Mando, who will otherwise be relatively unimportant to the plot, then there's no real reason to conceal their identity. Sure, this party could very well be someone we haven't gotten a formal introduction to yet, but it's probably someone who will play a vital role in episodes to come, hence the mysterious tease. Of course, the possibility also exists that this is a character we have met before, just not in this series. The Mandalorian takes place 5 years after the events of Star Wars Return of the Jedi, and who has a loose but significant connection to the Mandalorians, whom we last saw in that film falling to his presumed death into the gaping maw of the Sarlacc pit on Tatooine? That's right, Boba Fett, whose armor differs from Mando's only in color scheme and accessories, and who, like Mando, isn't so much a Mandalorian as he is a guy who really identifies with the culture. Of course, it's up for debate whether Boba actually survived his encounter with the Sarlacc. The extended Star Wars canon states so explicitly, but the House of Mouse has been very quiet on the matter. If indeed it was he who discovered Shand, it would make sense to hide his helmeted dome for a big reveal in another episode. But if we're being honest, we're pretty sure that this isn't the case. Here's why. Thanks to Entertainment Weekly, we now know that Giancarlo Esposito, Moff Gideon, is going to be a major player in The Mandalorian's narrative. We're familiar with that Moff title. This is an old Empire guy, obviously, but what exactly is he after? Esposito himself gave EW a few clues, saying, he's an Imperial remnant of a very fine officer who then switches to become sort of the guardian of the people. But what does he really want? This guy is going to be a big player because he has an idea of how to keep order. That's an interesting statement, because so far the hunt for Mando has been pure chaos. The log line for an upcoming episode, though, indicates that Gideon may have more on his mind than simply bringing Baby Yoda in to collect a bundle of cash. We recently got a pretty strong indication that The Mandalorian's 7th episode, which drops Wednesday, December 18th, will bring Gideon and Mando face to helmet. The logline reads, an old rival extends an invitation for the Mandalorian to make peace. Sure, this could be referring to someone else, The Mandalorian is a show that loves to keep us guessing. Nevertheless, we're going to go ahead and register our guess that the black-booted figure seen crouching over Fennec Shand is indeed Moff Gideon. We can't wait to see Esposito make his Mandalorian debut, and to see what duplicitous schemes his character might be cooking up. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Looper videos about The Mandalorian are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.